check out DZ's recent video. Do I agree with it? Okay. There's a lot of YouTubers chat that I don't really watch on the reg, so I actually have no idea what DZ's on right now. Eldritch can't. I'm not sure about this new Yu-Gi-Oh game. Speed duels?
What is up, guys? DZ here into
Dawn of the Battle Royale. Oh, who's this kid? Who is this kid? Why does he look like a main character? He looks like he's... Are they replacing him? Because he's kind of like more... This kid looks just like a main character, chat. He's the main character of the game. Oh. Yeah, because I'm like, what's this guy's God, I don't know. Yuga? Is that it? Is his name Yuga?
Today we have a...
I feel like that's someone from Arc V though. His name is Yuga Odu. Odu. Okay. Anyways, let's go to DZ's. What's it called? I'm about to end the fucking stream. I'm done. Stream over. I'm not dealing with this. If this is what the Yu-Gi-Oh community, if this is going to be the next, it's VFD. I'm done, chat. Press 1 if I need to go back to like not playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I knew it was a mistake to fucking play this shitty game again. I need to go back to being like the Yu-Gi-Tuber who hates this game and who hates all Yu-Gi-Tubers. I'm done. This card is written. No, get good. It doesn't hurt my deck, so it's... I'm not doing this, chat. Protos is not a fucking ban-worthy card. Stop it. Like, so we finally have one deck that can actually, like, I guess it's because Sword Soul can search it just because it happens to be a worm. I am not having this discussion. Chat, is this card ban-worthy? It's not ban-worthy. Oh my god, dude. The first person I heard say this was like the Yu-Gi-Oh replay channels, and I feel like this is going to start picking up steam, chat. And then everyone's going to make this into like the next VFD, and they'd be like, it's basically VFD, dude. Like, you can't summon darts for the whole turn, and if they pop on you, you just lose. Like, it's VFD. Oh my god. I hate the Yu-Gi-Oh community chat so much sometimes. I don't think it's ban-worthy. I just said it fucks over my shitty... That's... The point is... The point, Big Pimpin', is this is starting to, like, pick up steam now. And, like, for someone like DZ, who has 150,000 subscribers to make this video, it gives it even more credence, chat. I mean, come on, hold on. It needs three monsters with different attributes. What can even summon this other than Sword Soul, chat? I'm sorry, but this is a let them eat cake moment. Like, let shitty Sword Soul have its shitty power card. Like, let it have it. What else can summon it? Crusadia. Protos is, here we go. The masterful Jabril, chat. This is a VFD. No. Are you dare implying, Selza, that I am on the wrong side of this argument? Because I think this is an Abyss Dweller all over again. Remember when the whole Yu-Gi-Oh community chat wanted Abyss Dweller banned? Remember when the whole Yu-Gi-Oh community wanted Naturia Beast banned? How'd those work out? How'd those age, chat? Protos isn't... All I asked was a simple question. What? I don't remember that? Oh, no, I don't remember that. Okay, let me... Let's see if anything comes up. Should Naturia Beast get banned? Probably. My thoughts on Naturia Beast get banned. Yep. Naturia Beast needs to get banned. Press 1 if that never happened, chat. There was never a Naturia Beast needs to get banned. That never happened. Cap just I imagined it. Yep. Totally imagined it, chat. The Yu-Gi-Oh community never said this card was ban worthy. I imagined it. Video, that's not the point. That's not the point. Big Yu-Gi tubers were on this bandwagon. Just just saying. Don't make me pull up the Abyss Dweller, because I got that too, chat. Like, all I ask, chat, is what other than Sword Soul can reliably summon this card? Even VFD, there were other decks outside of VW. I mean, VW just like did it in its sleep, and it also worked like turn 0, which this card kind of works turn 0. It only works for darks, I guess. But 300 combined views. There were other people saying it. Just shut up. Jabril sucks. We know Protos is fine. Didn't you say ban Utopia the Lightning? Yeah, that card is still kind of broken, low key. VW got VFD banned by itself. Okay, but is Sword Soul okay? But all right. So to make it not apples to apples, Jabril, was Virtual World the best deck by a fucking country mile? Despite DB Grinder saying Drytron's the best deck by a lot. It's totally the best deck. Yeah, okay. That's why every time Drytron and Virtual World play, like, Virtual World fucking claps it, because Drytron's the best deck. Chat, Drytron was the best deck of that format by a country mile. Is Sword Soul the best deck right now, or is it not even a top 3 deck? Muckahum. What's the best deck right now, chat? VFD made Virtual World the best deck by far. Okay, but if you want to make an apples to apples comparison, you need to prove that Sword Soul is the best deck by far. This card does not make them the best deck. I don't even think it's like the 3rd best deck. I mean, maybe you could say it's the 3rd, but like, I think the Lyraloose deck is significantly better, and I think the Alistair deck is better. So at best, you're the 3rd best deck of the format. And results would back me up. So Sword Soul is the 2nd best to what? How's it better than Invoked? Invoked is winning exponentially more events. How's it better than Invoked? Chat, what's the better deck right now? Sword Soul or Invoked? Because I don't know. Invoked just seems to be winning all, like, if not winning, it seems to be doing significantly better. I mean, look at the what results? What results? Twitch chat says. I mean, this is a scuffed tournament, but I mean, okay, don't not winning necessarily. I actually was just searching this up for a video that I was making. Fake events. Hold on. Okay, let's look at this, chat. This was a 400 person event.
At least.
And let's look. We got Bird up.
And also,
okay.
Have Christian.
I mean, granted, this event was like kind of scuffed. The Alistair deck made top 4. Let's see how long it takes us to find Sword Soul.
If you add 1 so Bird deck, which is list
Small
is
World,
walk,
add Emancipator.
search it off. Droll can be high impact.
More Bird deck.
Playing the dark. I'm surprised that
1 Sword Soul, by the way, chat. 1 Sword Soul in the top 16.
Doesn't this card get
Orcus Finals?
Like
I mean, look, the top.
The was over here.
More Bird.
The 41.
Trish somehow got top 16.
Like, you for the Scythe.
I'm waiting for it. Machina or Machina.
Like, if you summon Alistair.
Another Alistair deck. Ain't that strange, chat, that 2 Alistair decks made it into top 16, but only 1 Sword Soul did? And the Alistair deck got farther than the Sword Soul player? I don't know. I think it's kind of strange. I can see Protos cap that deck cap. Can one of the mods make a poll, please? I don't generally ask this. Can one of the mods make a poll? Is Protos ban worthy? I actually don't know the full name of the card. That's some fruit for thought. So what you're saying is LCS matters when it helps your art. What I'm saying is it's the only thing that we have. Actually, hold on. There's another channel we can use. Chat, what's the name of that channel that compiles all the dueling book information? It's like there's a channel because he just posted a video and he took no. He just exclusively uses like dueling book information. And I think he had like the top 25 players on dueling book and he took like all their it's like something data, Haku data something. No, it's not certain. How come you guys don't know this? Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm gonna just have to like Yu-Gi-Oh! Data? I'm just gonna type in data and see if he comes up. Yeah, that's his name. It's like this guy. Hakuna. Oh, like Hakuna Matata. That's his name? Oh, okay. Yeah, Hakuna Matata. This guy. All right. You know what, chat? This will be the definitive proof.
Hey guys, so it's that time of the month where I go through replays of the top 25 ranked players on Doom.
Like how he just opens it and he opens his video up by saying it's that time of the month. Back in my day, that used to mean something different, but whatever.
Hey guys, so it's that time of the month where I go through replays of the top 25 ranked players on Dueling Book and see what deck they're playing and their win percentages.
Dueling Book doesn't fucking count. No, according to DB Grinder, it's more prestigious than a YCS, so there you go.
Sure, this is pretty timely, just before the Remote Duel YCS, so if you want to see this type of content each month, then make sure to
How can you say Remote Duel doesn't count, but this... Because Remote Duels are fucking scuffed. That's why I sell it.
So for this month, we had 500 matches included, and the diversity of decks was actually pretty low, at least compared to usual months. We actually see the biggest representation...
How the fuck are people playing this?
From Sword Soul, and in particular, they
Frogs?
mostly seem to be Sword Soul Tenyi. This is pretty funny as lately I've been seeing posts on Zodiac about how Sword Soul isn't actually that good, but hey, we're seeing a lot of top players running it. And then
yeah, because maybe it's not actually that good.
We have Tri-Brigade Lyrilisk at a close second, and finally Tri-Brigade is no longer the most represented deck as it has been for the last few months. Next we have Dogmatic Invoke DPE, something where...
This just, Jabril, I want you to know, this isn't the winning percentage. This is just how, this is just the popularity of the decks. So all this means is that Sword Soul is normie. That's
we
all
saw a lot of representation at the last pack LCS as well. This is followed by Drytron, which to me is surprisingly losing more representation, at least online, despite it still being a tier 1 deck in my eyes. Next we have Phantom Knights featuring DPE and the Scythe block, and I'm still confused why there isn't more representation from this deck.
Yeah, I kind of have to agree. This is the deck, like, I don't get why no one's playing this deck. I know one of the stats in this video chat, and it actually explains why, but like, this is the deck that I don't really get it.
And top ranked. And then we have some more familiar rogue decks such as Infernoble and Mathmech, and I suppose Prank Kids has fallen in representation lately. Then we had a few matches in other, including Sky Striker DPE, Orcust, and Virtual World.
They're held back by Protos.
Compare this to last month's meta-analysis where I looked through the top.
Okay, no one cares about last month, alright? Just...
include a mid-range category thanks to the commenters. Basically, this category will now include decks like Sword Soul and even Dogmatic Invoked, of which the latter was previously categorized as Control. So
I still don't get what this means. What is beatdown, chat? I know I keep going off on tangents, but what is this? I think El Extraordinario del Duelista, they had like Marinces as like beatdown. What is beatdown? What is that? I feel like that's just, isn't that just a control deck though? All gas. Okay, but then give me like an example. I mean, yeah, I like Warrock, a deck that just can't control. I feel like I'm like, yo, Senju, is that beatdown? Like, what means beatdown? Because to me, it just means a deck that like can't make any negations and has like no stun or like lockdown elements. So just the only way you can remove things is by attacking. Battery Man. Yeah, I guess Battery Man's not really combo. You know, like what is beatdown? From the past regionals, there was a lot of Sword Soul Tenyi.
Still have over half of the decks being combo decks like Tri-Brigade Lyrilisk, Drytron, and Phantom Knight, with a close second at mid-range decks. Not a lot of control decks, in which case now this will involve decks like Eldritch and Sky Striker, and a bit of beatdown coming from Mathmech only. Now let's cover the top 5 decks in more detail, starting with Sword Soul. Now that there's been more time for players to get used to this deck, looks like they are performing better, winning 72% of their matches.
Okay.
They may not put up a really intimidating board, but they put up something solid very consistently, such as the Grandmaster for the Monster Negate, Fleur for the Omni Negate, and the Blackout for the pops. They are also playing Archnemeses Protos now, which can be searchable for them, and that just really shuts down special summoning against specific attributes. Now by die roll, the deck did win slightly better when the top player won the die roll, winning 76% versus 69% when they lost the die roll. From the matches I saw, it looked like they were all going first builds, whereas previously there was a mix of some builds opting to go second.
What's up, Triff?
Now
How are
overall,
you?
among all players, Sword Soul was actually the most played deck in the last 7 days, so this is a bit of a feat considering that
You haven't even seen the stats of the other decks, chat. Calm down.
Tri-Brigade has been the most played deck by far for the last few months now.
You guys haven't seen.
Although the win percentage among all players was pretty low at 56%, so there's certainly a big gap between what our top ranked players have been able to achieve with this deck. Next we have Tri-Brigade Lyrilisk, which unlike the pure variant, has more of a combo playstyle and can put up a pretty nasty board with good coverage like an Omni Negate, some bounces, and a Monster Negate. They won 78% of their matches, which is impressive, and what's strong with this deck is that by a die roll, they typically have a pretty balanced win percentage, as you can see here, pretty much equal. Overall, they have been surpassed by Sword Soul, so now that this is the second most played deck online in the last 7 days.
Okay, so is this definitive proof? Will you guys give me this, that the Tri-Brigade Lyrilisk deck is better? Significantly higher win percentage, chat. That's like 5%? 72%. 78, we round up. 70, that's 6% high. That's a fucking lot, chat. This deck, no, okay. I'm pretty sure the Alistair deck is next.
Wrong with this deck is that by a die roll, they typically have a pretty balanced win percentage, as you can see here. Pretty in line, and in seen enough of Invoke, they are still thriving, and now they are featuring Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. As mentioned earlier, this deck had a pretty good representation in Top Cut at the PAC LCS, and on Dueling Book among our top players. They won 65% of the matches with the deck. By die roll, they won 70% if they won the die roll versus 59% if they lost the die roll. Typically, this deck has a pretty balanced win percentage as well by
These guys are trash.
Die roll, since traditionally this deck was able to play a lot of hand traps. Overall, a pretty popular
Don't worry,
deck
chat.
online,
PK will save me.
most in the last 7 days, with a very respectable 62% win percentage. At this point, I think the Invocation package is just going to always dodge the ban list, but I think we're all pretty sick of normal summon Alistair at this point. Now we have Drytron, which, as I said earlier, I'm surprised that it's losing popularity in play, at least online, considering that it's such a strong deck. Heard they're also making use of the Dagda for the Scythe lock now, which is pretty gross. The deck won 72% among our top players, which is solid. Now by die roll, Drytron won 76% when they won the die roll versus 69% if they lost the die roll. I actually thought the discrepancy would be much greater, since if Drytron gets to go first, I find they're almost impossible to win against.
Same winning percentage as Sword Soul, chat. Interesting. 99% of the duels are just carnage. I don't know. Just saying. I wonder if. Yeah, actually, no.
Whereas they have been known to struggle going second. Now overall, the deck has lost some popularity as well, now being the 12th most played deck in the last 7 days. They won 58% with the deck, which certainly is way lower than what our top players have been able to achieve. Lastly, we have Phantom Knights, which is another deck that I thought would see a lot more play. The deck had an insane win percentage at 80.
Okay, so chat. Phantom PK actually has the highest winning percentage of all these decks, chat. PK actually has the highest one, but wait. I'll show you guys the copium part.
3%, and this is a really annoying deck to go up against because they can abuse Scythe even more. Not just with DP, but they also have the Rusty Pop to gain access to that lock.
PK is just great.
On top of that, we still have to go through Fog Blades as well.
Don't get too excited
making this deck to be pretty difficult to side against. Now, if they won the die roll, the win percentage was even more insane at 91% among our top.
Chat, is this big? PK wins 90% of duels when it goes first, but only 70% when it goes second. That is, I don't know, Chad. That tells me that this is like a die roll deck. If you go second, you just lose. That is 90% is insane. Don't get me wrong. It means you're pretty much always going to win, but 70 isn't bad. What was actually, you know what? You know what tells me maybe you're right. Hold on. Yeah, Sword Souls was 68. It's not as balanced as this deck. Yeah, I guess 70 isn't bad. I thought it was going to be lower, to be honest. Where's Outlet Chat, though? Big Pimpin says, do you see the disrespect I'm getting in the chat right now? Triff is asking for Jabril's deck over mine and says I suck because I beat him. Triff, how you doing tonight? Triff, Triff, BP's deck is better than his deck is better than what's it called? His deck is better than Jabril's. Jabril for some reason is like dancing around the topic and he won't address it. That's fine. I'm not gonna force him to. But BP's deck is better than
Compared to 72%.
And yes, he mains anti-spell, so it wasn't like you didn't get stream sniped or anything like that. He actually just mains anti-spell.
When they lost the Dyrol, which is still
because everyone is maining Scythe. How do you figure 70% of the time going second is bad? I thought it was lower. I'm being honest, Jabril. I thought it was lower. So then hold on, Jabril. Does this mean PK is just better than Sword Soul? Look, I don't care what you say. Sword Soul is not the second best deck.
really
so look, the whole point of this is, chat, Protos isn't ban worthy. This is a stupid argument. I don't care if it beats Phantom Knights or if it beats your Dark deck. Play other attributes, forehead. Like, no, I'm not having this, chat. If we're gonna ban some cards, we can ban Imperial Order, we can ban Artifact Scythe. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna fight you on everything else, chat. Everything else I'll fight you on. Those two cards, you got my blessing. Maybe there's a third card I'm not thinking of, but like, nah, dude, Protos just isn't it. Ban Appaloosa. I just don't get how people are justifying, well, if you play a Dark deck and you go second and they also search this and they can special, I mean, they're probably gonna special summon it because they can just do that, but like, no.
Boss monsters that really got people talking about this archetype a year and a half ago.
Oh yeah, you know what, I'll give you Mystic Mind as well. Anime now, I'll give you that one.
Even if this deck wasn't competitively viable on release, people thought about these boss monsters quite a bit. I saw them pop up in a number of different discussions. Basically, these two cards are almost identical. Protos deals with attributes while the other one deals with types, but Protos is the main one we're talking about in today's video. Let's take a look at what it does. Archnemeses Protos is a...
I know what it does. Oops.
Monsters aren't really starter cards, so you have to combine this deck with other strategies. Now, there were other strategies that you field or in your graveyard if you want to bring out those boss monsters, so that wasn't really consistent enough to see competitive use. But with the release of the brand new Sword Soul deck in Burst of Destiny, suddenly worm monsters are a lot better than they have.
Who are these people? I guess I never looked at this card zoomed in. Who are these people, chat? Like, that's the 10. That's probably like Moyi and I don't know, the green one. It's Avram. Card's insane. These are Dogmaticas?
Destiny suddenly.
Who? Like, okay, so these are the Sword Souls, and this card is Sword Soul emerges, I think, something like that. The shitty Dogma. Are these the bench players? Like, what? I really, chat, I'm be honest, I really don't understand why Sword Soul is part of this lore. That's like the one. Am I the only one who's just like, this isn't this like the Asian Shang-Chi arc? Like, how does this fit into the lore? I thought they went to like I thought they went to like Albaz's home and they were in like the Dark World or some shit. Like, how did they didn't just what? Like, how did they get here? Like, this is the one that just doesn't fit to me. Like, I don't get this part of the story, chat. It's just
worm
weird.
Monsters are
Konami so the Sword Soul just are here fighting against like the shitty B-listers of Dogmatica. Like, I don't get it.
A lot better than they have.
Did you just say no? I said Shang-Chi. I did not say Ching Chong.
Been in a long time. Sword Soul emerges.
Don't tell Cap about Ice Jade. No, please don't. I'm not interested in Ice Jade at all. I don't understand how you don't get how Protos is ban worthy. Card's insane. You haven't told me how it's ban worthy, Jabril. You haven't. Like, only one deck can play it. Chat, is a card ban worthy if one deck can play it and that deck is not the best deck of the format? Let me think of another example of a card that got banned. You know what? That's how you get Mirage Stalio, by the way. Totally ban worthy card. Salaman Great Mirage Stalio. Totally need to be banned. That's why when we unbanned it, it did nothing. Banned that card for like 2 years for no reason. No. I think it's a format-specific card. Let's see. Go to web address. Salaman Great, like 5th best deck of the format. Let's ban its best or its only sea monster. Oh, wow. They really are fighting the D-listers. Dogmatica Theo, the Iron Punch. So that's him. Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I don't even like who are
is
these
a
people?
very good spell card that can either add a Sword Soul monster from your deck to your hand, or if you control a Synchro.
Well, okay. If you pop a light, but is it worth popping a light? Because if you pop a light, then you like kill your own monster. You have to kill your level 8, right? Like believe me, I wish someone was like, oh Cap, you're playing Eldritch. I'm gonna pop my own level 8 just so you can't summon Golden Lord. Cool, set 5. Please kill your own monster.
You can add one worm
like,
monster
so that I don't
instead.
have to.
So that gives you access to the
Also
Protos pretty easily. But not only do you have the 3 copies of Emergence, which can grab Protos if you control a Synchro monster, but also the Grandmaster level 8 Synchro in the Sword Soul archetype can add the Emergence right to your hand. So it's not only about having 3 extra copies of Protos with the 3 Emergence, but it's also about the fact that as long as you can make a level 8 Synchro, which, trust me, the Sword Soul deck has plenty of ways to do that on turn 1 very consistently, you can make sure you get to that Protos. But also, the Sword Soul archetype has a ton of different attributes in there. So the main 3 Sword Soul cards are Wind, Fire, and Water.
I get this, DZ. Just explain to me why the card's ban-worthy.
Or because you have the Grandmaster on the board, because that's how you added the Sword Soul Emergence to your hand, you could call Light as well. But even though Dark and Light are the easiest attributes to call with Protos, theoretically, because the deck does have a Monster Reborn card, you could pretty much call whatever attribute you want, and then that shuts your opponent out of the game. What makes this card so toxic, though, is that this all happens on your turn 1, before the opponent has a chance to respond. It is a lingering effect, which means if your opponent goes and they have Dark Ruler No More, or Forbidden Chalice, or Forbidden Droplet, those cards don't matter at all, because by that point, the Protos has already resolved its effect. So Protos can pretty much just skip your opponent's turn if you call the right attribute. So the only real way to interact with a Protos on turn 1 is by using hand traps. The problem there, though, is that the Tenyi Sword Soul deck can very often summon a Chao Fang using a Baxia, which prevents the opponent from using light effects. That cuts them off of Effect Veiler and Gamma and Nibiru. That pretty much limits them to only exactly infinite impermanence to stop the Protos.
Or you could play the shitty Salza card, chat. Is that card win? The shitty Effect Veiler, chat? Whose name I can't... Ghost Mourner and Ocean and Staring at Lake or something? Yeah, you could play the shitty Salza card. It's lit. It's lit and chill. It is win. There you go. GG no read, DZ.
Permanence isn't a perfect solution because Sword Soul decks are very often able to summon Baron before they use the Protos effect. So you have this very frustrating situation where most hand traps aren't going to work on the Protos because of how good the other Sword Soul cards are, but also you can't use board breaking cards like Dark Ruler No More or Forbidden Droplet because by that point it is too late. Now theoretically, if you don't play a light or dark deck, you at least have a much better chance in game 1 to play through
Monka, So what if I'm just not playing a light or dark deck? It's almost like it might not skip my turn. But who would want to spend time talking about that narrative, chat? Video's already over. Monka,
through the Protos
let's just
ability
assume the
because
card wins
people
again.
probably aren't going to blind call like wind or water or fire or whatever, but it is still not fun in games 2 or 3. But where this gets really unfair and really unfun is that Protos is not only a card that is good going first, it's also a card that's very good going second. And in some cases, it might even be better going second than it is going first. When you go second, you don't have to worry about destroying your own cards. You simply call whatever.
When's the last time a strictly side deck card was hit? Do you mean banned, Big Pimpin', or limited? Or like, you mean, yeah, moved on the FNL list. Banned is going to take me a while to think of that card. Hit on the Forbidden and Limit, I mean, Dino Wrestler Pankatops, like, that card had to get hit because every deck was just running like multiple. Let's say bans. Oh yeah, Red Reboot also would count. I don't know. I mean, when Super Poly got banned, it was like people were main decking it in shut-alls. I'd have to
whatever
look at
attribute
that.
is most common on your
It might be a
opponent's
long
side
time.
of the field. So then in that case, it's kind of like a Regeki effect that also then locks them out during the next turn. So while the Nemesis archetype wasn't very good, despite having a few okay cards, Protos right now is one of the most toxic cards in the entire game. When you go first, it's a lockout card that prevents your opponent from playing, but it's also a card.
No, it's not a lockout card that prevents your opponent from playing. It's a lockout card that might be good against a deck that you might not even know. Like, it could be good or it could do absolutely nothing. Like that's the problem that I'm having with this. He's not making chat. He's not making a point that this card, or he's not proving the point that this card wins the game. Like, he didn't do that yet. I mean, he's saying, oh, it locks you out of the game, it skips your turn. Like, if you play against the specific matchup that you call, and the only free way to use it is calling Dark. Except, what if I'm just not playing a deck that special summons Darks? What if I'm playing Sky Striker? What if I'm playing the Lyraloose deck, which is pretty much just, like, do they summon any Dark monsters? I'm pretty sure they don't summon anything Dark. What if I'm playing Fluunderies, which can't special summon? You know what I mean? Ray isn't Dark. You don't need to special summon Ray turn 1. You just normal summon her. What do you mean?
That's basically impossible for them to interact with because you have so many ways to stop hand traps and board breaking cards that don't work against it. But even when you
the Alistair deck also doesn't special summon Dark's turn. Like, the only Dark, I mean, if they go for like Verte, I guess, or DPE. Does Drytron special summon Dark Monsters, chat? That's like a dude. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, I just named 4 fucking decks, chat, that don't special summon Dark Monsters at all turn 1, unless specifically it be DPE or I guess by proxy Verte. So what are we talking about here? And that's if you just blind call Darks. Cool. I just get to play the rest of my deck. Just no DPE.
Go second, it's still a great card. It can help you clear the board and prevent your opponent from having
I'm
any
sorry,
sort of...
DZ, if you just didn't sell me on this. I want to see if you're... It probably should be, but Konami... Okay. I want to see if I can get anyone with a brain cell who can maybe say what's it called. No, I thought Nemesis was pretty good when it came out. I just couldn't find. Needed one Protos. Not be banned. Yeah, chat. I would argue that the Scythe Lock is way more toxic. It's also literally impossible to stop if done correctly. Here, chat. What's a bigger issue right now? Artifact Scythe or Protos? A card that can be summoned from the main deck with Artifact Sanctum and can be set from your main deck that you don't have to draw. I mean, I guess you could say you could search this, but that can be played in way more decks. I mean, I don't know. I'm under the impression that this can only be played in Sword Soul. Artifact Scythe can be played in literally anything because you can just activate Artifact Sanctum and then just summon it from your deck. So the gardening tool. Okay, I'm just. This is the most time that I'm gonna give this card, chat. I'm not having it. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled whatever you guys want to talk about. Scythe can brick you. Okay, so that used to be true before DPE was a thing. Scythe can technically brick you, but DPE kind of solved that problem, right? That was the biggest problem with Artifact Scythe. What if you draw it instead of drawing your Artifact Sanctum cap? Then you just have a brick for the whole game. Well, maybe your opponent MSTs it or something, but now we have DPE, which can just pop it on your side of the field. I mean, I guess Phantom Knights also have like Rusty Bardiche, you know, which can pop it by the way of a Breaksword. But like now they got like multiple ways of doing it. So Scythe, that problem with Scythe is like not really that big of a problem anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know, Chad. Let me check something right quick. Let's see how big of a problem this is. I just want to look up one thing. Brave Tenyi. Okay, I think they play. What's it called? You guys like some old school Eminem. Sorry, this is not what I meant to click, chat. I'm looking for Sword Soul OCG. I want to see if they play Protos. I don't know if they do. I don't think I can use this one as an example, chat. They side it. So they play Protos, chat, but they side it. I'm thinking they only side it for Phantom Knights. It's almost like it's not good if you don't know what you're playing against. Just saying. It's almost like it's not actually good in the main deck. Because unlike DZ would have you believe, you might not play against a dark deck. You might just play against Drytron and get fucking mopped because it doesn't do anything. You might play against Flunder, which doesn't, you know, or Eldritch, and it just doesn't do anything. I'll go back. Let's see. Is there... I don't know, chat. They don't even play it in the OC, or they don't even main deck it. I'll check one more. Just to see. We all know, chat, the OCG are the gods of Yu-Gi-Oh! They're the smart ones. Flunder, Eldritch, Sword Soul. They don't even play it. They don't even play it. They don't even play it. Press 1 to ban it anyways, chat. Who cares? Who cares if people play the card or not? Just ban it anyways. It fits my narrative, so just fucking ban the card. Ban everything. Oh god, I'm sorry, chat. How are you guys doing tonight? I haven't asked you guys that. How's Twitch chat doing tonight? I'm in a good mood, chat. I know I only woke up like a few hours ago, but I'm feeling great. I lost to it once. Ban it. Agreed. Like, I mean, it's been summoned against me, and I guess, yeah, I'm playing Eldritch, but I don't know. I just largely ignored it. You know, set some what's it called. Do I want to play? Gladly, Jabril. Bring your crappy Sword Souls. Actually, let me edit my deck right quick. I don't want to play against that Frog deck, because I think that's a really bad matchup for me. Which one of you Neva's logged into my account? Why do I have a Drytron deck, chat? What the Kappa? I feel like one of you Neva's hacked into my... I've never played Drytron in my life. So, like, one of you Neva's must have got in my account. Imports. Big stacks. Is there anything else that needs to be hit other than Imperial Order and Scythe? Probably Mystic Mind, Selza. Yeah, probably Mystic Mind. Like, that card is just... Mystic Mind, dude. Mystic Mind is probably the most unfun card since BFD. So, yeah, I would say mine. Those are the only three, like, definitives. I'm not really about, chat. I'm not someone who's, like, big on hitting, like, archetype cards. Unless it's, like, definitively the best deck. I don't know. I'm not a fan of being like, oh, we need to limit this card. Like, I just don't like that. That's how you get, like, shitty hits like Mirage Stalio, and I mean, I still think Colossus never needed to get bans. If they could have put that card to 1, that would have been fine. You know. What about Tri-Brigade, the bird deck? So I've been playing it. That deck is I gotta admit, chat, that's the one combo deck that deck is crazy. I'll show you guys. Let's see. Oh, it just already has it on here. On my other screen, it just shows Big Pimpin' gifted 5 subs, but it doesn't show who to. So thank you very much, Big Pimpin', gifting over 5 subs, tier 1, to Meggy Magi, That Man 666. I see him time to time. Dark Emperor, who's here all the time. Dude, how do I pronounce this? Baje Lint Kesney, Graphite Wolf 26, and Anime Knight 99. Congratulations, you guys are all grown ass men. Actually, I gifted 6. 6. Am I missing one? Oh, yeah, you did. Hold on. 3. Yeah, you did. Because you get through one the anime night before that. It's just all together here. Thank you very much. I'll do more push-ups later in the stream chat, but if I do more push-ups now, I'm actually gonna die. All right, what were we even talking about, chat? I'm the only streamer who just like, I don't know. I guess it's because the alerts and stuff take so much out of me. I literally be forgetting like what we're even doing on the stream. Let me drink some water before I die. Only saw Buzzsaw summons a level 4, then stopped the reading. Wait, hold on. We gonna talk about sharks in a second, chat. I wish Jabril was actually here. Okay, yeah, just water this time, no tea. All right. Okay. To get this off my chest, and I know I really shouldn't care, but the reason why, and I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to make a stream title about it, but the reason why I am perturbed does mean like mildly annoyed, right, chat? Perturbed. Let's see. It means like mildly annoyed, right? Unsettled, feeling of anxiety or concern. Okay, this kind of works, I guess. Yeah, the reason that I am perturbed is because I think Big Pimpin's build of sharks is so much better than like Jabril's version or like the builds that I've seen topping, but he's what's getting all the recognition. Like I actually think if you guys watched the first duel, the duel that that Grinder had on his channel with Jabril actually made that deck look bad, chat. And I'm not saying Jabril is bad, but like I gotta be honest, I watched all 3 duels and I was like, he's making this deck look fucking bad. And these duels weren't impressive at all. And I was like, I put actual work into this deck. I know I agree, I see that. But like I was watching the duels, I can show you guys the video I'm talking about, and I was like, this like he's making this deck look like fucking bad. I'm looking at some of the plays. What's the card, Big Pimpin'? Is it like Ixie the shark, the one that basically lets you make the it lets you make your first like rank 4 for free, and then you like detach and it does like all this other crazy shit. Like none of the people are playing that card for some reason. They're all running that Beyonta Tunaful Fish card. Because I remember listening to BP.
Believe, have you forgotten that the amazing power of money can do anything? Money
BP beat Triff. Yeah, I saw that.
makes life happy.
Look what I found, pause champ. I think Zesty would be proud.
Thank you very much, Dark Emperor. I'll check that out in 1 second. I remember Big Pimpin' had said that the problem with that tuna fish card is that if your opponent ashes you, you basically just pass. He said something about like it was the same problem that he was having with Crusadia and Rescue Cat. You normal summon it, and then you activate the effect, and if you get ashed, you just pass turn. And I was like, yeah, that seems pretty legit. No deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Just wants to like get ashed and basically just pass and not have any extenders. So they're all like maxing out on that shitty card, and they're not playing the Ixie Ramura card. And I don't know, chat, like 12,000 people watch this video and like think this is the way to play sharks.
Hello, guys.
And again, I watched all 3 duels and I was like, these, I don't know, chat. This just wasn't it. The Sea Nettle card seems kind of shitty, so I don't know. I shouldn't be this annoyed, but I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm fairly annoyed, to be honest. That shark replay was one of the worst, shittiest replays I've seen from, yeah, dude, that's how I felt, like watching this. And chat, I've watched almost all of Grinder's content. Look, you guys can see, look at all the red bars, and like the last couple weeks, chat, I've watched almost every video he's posted, and I just watched this shark one, and I was like, these are actually just some of the worst duels. Like they're not really impressive. No anti-spell, like I don't know.